Hey, Cancer. Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your love reading for October 2025. Today's session is all about love in all its forms, including self-love, whether you are single or in a relationship, because the love that we cultivate within ourselves sets the tone for every connection in our lives. So today, Cancer, I invite you to fall in love with yourself. I want to guide you in exploring your inner world by addressing any challenges or blockages so that love can flow freely into your outer world and into every relationship that you touch. So let's dive into your energy here and take a look at what it is that you are cultivating. Bottom of the deck, we have here the Knight of Pentacles. You're cultivating here relationships, including the relationship with self, where you are focused on your stability. You're taking action on creating a stable, secure environment, both internally and externally. Now, knights are action takers. However, this knight is the slowest moving knight, but I feel like it's because he wants to do things right the first time around so he doesn't have to go back and repeat something. And you have learned through the school of hard knocks what it is that you want out of a relationship and what it is that you don't want. And I have a feeling you are someone who is constantly learning. Your mind is like a sponge. You may have a lot going on in your life, but I feel like you dedicate your time and your energy and your efforts into things that uplift you, into books or podcasts or classes or even connections that inspire you. And the Knight of Pentacles builds strong, solid connections with those around him. But first, it's because he trusts in himself. He trusts that the choices and the decisions that he makes are for his highest good. And he listens to his own intuitive wisdom. I feel like people depend on you. People look up to you when you are out socializing with your friends or you are, in your, perhaps your work environment. You are a guiding light to others, whether you know this or not, Cancer. So let's dive in and take a look at the messages Spirit has for you. You have soul yes. Only say yes when it feels like a soul yes. Trust that your body will guide you in making decisions. Your body will feel expansive, light, and relieved. Trust in yourself. We were just talking about that. So when intuition is knocking, this is how we know it's intuition, because it feels expansive. It feels light, right? It feels relieved. Fear can be loud. Fear can restrict us. Fear can feel heavy and it can feel oppressing. You are being guided here to say no to the things that no longer serve you, the things that are not aligned with your energy, and give it a soul yes to the things that you want to manifest in your own world, and trusting that not only do you have the skills, the tools, and the ability to bring about what it is that you want in your life, but also by addressing some of the challenges and blockages, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. Next, you have feminine energy here. Now, this could be your own femininity, and it could even be that you are connecting to a divine female in your life, maybe even a family member or a parent or a loved one who's crossed over. Deepen the connection to who you are by flowing, right? By flowing, because the divine feminine is all about receptivity. And in order to receive, we have to be willing to flow, not control, flow. And you can do this by music, listening to music, dancing. It can be meditation, maybe connecting with water, whether you are taking a bath, whether you are soaking up in a hot tub, maybe you're swimming in a body of water. Immerse yourself in passions. Bathe in the creativity and inspirations that flow through you. And that's what you are learning to do at this time. And you may be thinking, well, Mel, how does that fit into relationships? because when you are in the flow, it magnetizes the energies in which you are wanting to pull into your own life, because you have magnetic energy coming through as one of your key themes. When you are aligned, you radiate your best self to the world, receiving back more than what you dreamed possible. Now, what you are magnetizing is also magnetizing you. There is magic here. I am getting the magician energy. Now, I don't see him out here. I actually do see the empress. So this tells me that you are manifesting a loving, nurturing connection first and foremost with yourself. And some of you may have been learning how to reparent you. You've been learning how to take care of your own self. You are magnetic, and I feel like you are calling in, if you're not in a connection already, you're calling in something that feels strong, mature, stable, and loyal. So let's dive in here and take a look at your current self energy. Where are you at in your relationships, if you are in one, or the relationship with self? So 5 of Wands here. 5 of Wands is letting go of the ego, letting go of bickering, argumentation here. And I'm also getting exploring perhaps opposing views, taking a look at adversity in a different mindset here, where if it is drama fueled, you are asking yourself, what is this teaching me? But if this is something that's constructive, something that, you can become a better version of yourself, right? That's that Knight of Pentacles, always learning, always growing. I feel like that's where you are at. But if you are in a relationship dynamic where there's constant bickering or ego or drama or tension or even gossip, I feel like you are making a choice, because I see the Judgment coming up. It feels like you're making a choice here to surrender to your own peace, standing in your own integrity here, and not compromising what you've built so hard to not destroy, right? Your own peace. And if this is within the confinements of your own mind, you may be letting go of control, right? Letting go of ego patterns that kind of pull you in many different directions. Now, the 5 of Wands is also about criticism. And I have a feeling that some of you may have a story that is played out from a past experience that you've had. Someone's voice has kind of creeped in, living rent-free in your mind. This could be the voice of a parental figure. This could be the voice of society. This could be the voice of an ex. This could be the voice of, someone that you had thought you could trust, but it backfired. It feels like someone's voice has reared up in your mind. It's been brought to your conscious awareness that this is perhaps a part of a blockage. This is a story that I started to believe. And I feel like you are choosing to interrupt this pattern, and you're saying, wait a second, is this true? Or did I start to believe in this lie? Did I start to believe in this story? So maybe this is a comment that someone made. Maybe it is a loop that played out over and over. I feel like you are staying consciously aware by being present in the face of adversity, in the face here of any sort of ego. And when you are present, it gives you the upper hand. It allows you to say, this is working, this is not working. It allows you to embrace a soul yes and embrace a soul no. So let's look at the block. Let's look at the challenge. What is preventing love from flowing freely, maybe within you or out into your world? The 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles as a challenge can be neglect or impatience. It can be that, you're giving all of your precious time and energy, or putting your precious time and energy into something, but maybe you're not seeing the fruits of your labor paying off in the ways that you had hoped. And that has created some sort of belief system or cognitive dissonance in your own mind, where you're wondering, is it even worth it? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I continue working on myself? Is it even paying off? Right? So there's this energy of, when is it my turn? But I also see that you are being guided to trust in the process. Remember, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, Cancer. So even if something has been a slow process here for you, I feel like there's improvements. There's small improvements here. You are improving your health. You're improving your mind. You are improving your relationships. And I feel like you can see, if you actually, were consciously aware, which I feel like you are, that Knight of Pentacles, you're going to see that there are improvements in your life and that you are taking conscious action steps to, trust in the divine plan, even if the divine plan is a bit different than our ego plan here. So don't give up, right? Don't give up on love, right? Love's not giving up on you. You're going to start to see gains here sooner rather than later. So what's the inner awareness? What truth about yourself do you need to see more clearly? That you're more stable than you think. The King of Pentacles, that you have come a long way. I feel like you are someone who could also be in a dynamic where it's been quite traditional. Maybe you are in a marriage, for example, or perhaps you have settled into a work routine and something in your life has become very, not just routine, but it's become your everyday. I feel like your inner awareness is saying here, you have this stability here. You can trust in this inner stability that you've created. Now, how can you flow it out into the outer world to kind of shake things up a bit in a more spontaneous, more passionate, more adventurous way? Because the King of Pentacles, he does secure love. He is someone who can secure love. If you haven't already, you have the ability to do so, but maybe that spontaneity or that adventure is calling out to you. That's what I'm getting here. I'm actually being shown the Knight of Wands in my mind's eye. And so the Knight of Pentacles is here, which tells me, again, you're someone who is dedicated to learning, to growing, and to maybe your craft or your finances. And if you have been spending a lot of time on, creating more financial abundance and flow, maybe focusing on your career, your inner awareness may be saying here, are you allowing yourself to expand in matters of the heart? Are you nurturing and fostering genuine connections around you? Or are you focused so much on the material or the career piece that it's not leaving a lot of growth or expansion for love? So your inner awareness is trying to get you to see that you are stable here. You've created this sense of peace and security within. And sometimes you may feel like you can't trust this within you, or you may feel like you still have some things that you are working on before you can open up the next chapter. But I feel like the next chapter has already been opened for you. So now it's about a soul yes, right? Only say yes when it feels good, when it feels expansive. Now, what is the external influence? The Five of Swords. Okay. So the Five of Swords is arguing. It is conflict, right? It is trying to be careful about what you say. It can even be at times feeling like you're walking on eggshells here because someone around you could be manipulative, or perhaps someone around you is a bully. Maybe they've taken advantage, or they even could be some mental health stuff going on here, because the Swords is mental energies and the Five is conflict. And so there is some sort of external influence that has impressionated you. It has left an impact. And I see that you are working through this energy right now, even if it's taken some time, because you know that fighting is not the answer. You know that, you don't want to burn bridges here. You don't want enemies. You don't want this constant argumentative vibe to show up. And maybe some of you, that's what you have grown up with. Maybe you've witnessed it in the past, a lot of drama, a lot of arguing, or, disagreements that weren't that weren't challenged in a healthy way, meaning that these disagreements were handled in a way that was very unhealthy, very toxic, or even very immature. And with you as the king here, the king of pentacles, you don't have to stoop to someone else's level, right? And you certainly do not have to attract this type of energy into your life. You've learned. That's what your inner awareness is reminding you, that you have learned to level up in this playing field here. I'm also getting emotional and physical intelligence is something that you really look for in another. And I see that the way that somebody handles stress, the way that someone handles arguments tells a lot about their character. And you may have struggled with this at times yourself. Maybe you have blown up, right? We all have these human experience. Maybe you've lashed out. Maybe you've said things when you were hurt. But I feel like you are aware of these emotions now. And you don't want to, what is the saying? Create a molehill out of an anthill, right? You don't want something to kind of explode in a way that it doesn't need to explode. And if you feel like you're walking on eggshells, or if you are not feeling aligned with a certain energy, then you are moving into a soul yes. Like, I'm moving into an energy that feels more aligned with where I want to go. So what is the hopes and fears? Judgment. What do you desire most in love? You want to bring less judgment, right? You want others to bring less judgment. This is choosing a path that aligns, that both of you are in alignment. This is redemption, second chances here. You've gone through the trials and tribulations. You don't have to go back there, which means we don't have to keep bringing up the old, the past, that stuck energy. And perhaps you have felt judged, and you don't want that energy to continue moving forward. That is your biggest hope, that you can choose that path that really aligns with your higher self, the higher calling. And the fear is, what if I continue to live in fear, right? Because fear is a liar. What if I continue to live in a lie? What if I'm unable to let something of the past go? What if they continue to judge? What if we face this judgment day and we just keep repeating these cycles? When judgment day comes up here, there is a powerful choice to be made. It's either to bring something back to life that was on the brink of death. This could be a relationship, to give it one more go, or it can be releasing judgments upon yourself or others and saying, this is a fresh start. I have been given a new rebirth here, and I am allowing myself to truly align with my life's purpose. That is your hope, regardless of whatever choice is being made. Now, what is the guidance here? What action or shift will help open your heart and nurture greater self-love? Well, you have the mother of all nurturing. You have the Empress. Libran energy here. The majority of October is Libran season. And this is all about mutual trust. It's about affection. It is about you leaning into releasing control, releasing the need for... Sometimes the Empress can be like cold. And I feel like you may have gone cold to a situation in order for you to find more peace in your life. And that may be something you've been working on, is like, how do I fully envelop this mutual trust, trusting in myself entirely to make choices that are soul yeses? And how do I let go of imbalances here or relationships that are misaligned? And I feel like dropping into your feminine energy here, because the Empress is very feminine. This is the type of relationship you need, where you are able to not feel like you have to swing into your masculine energy. You want to be able to be soft and nurturing and loving and caring and kind and affectionate. You want to be able to, receive the love in all ways. And for some of you, it feels like you've been taking care of yourself, but you also want to attract partnerships and relationships where there's mutual respect, where there is a divine masculine and feminine blend of energies coming through here, where there is success, the success of a relationship. Some of you, this is about infertility even, or maybe pregnancy or birthing a new cycle into your life. So Empress is very abundant, very nurturing, and some of you could even be parents. Perhaps you are wives, or you've been married here, and I feel like you are letting go of anything that kind of controls you or puts a little bit of a spell on you, because that's that Five of Swords energy. That Five of Swords can put a bit of a mental spell on you, but the Empress is, she's breaking out of that illusion. She is someone who is standing in her power. She is someone who is a strong divine feminine here, and you're being asked to unleash your abilities here, express yourself. Don't hold back because of that 5. In fact, you have 2 5s here. The 5 and the 5 equals the 10. So there is an ending bringing in a new beginning. Let's get an action card here for you, Cancer. What do we have for action? Be unapologetically yourself. Okay, that is the Empress. Be unapologetically yourself. It's normal to feel distracted by what everyone else is doing or becoming. You are unique, magnetic, and luminous in your own way. You are not made to be like everyone else. Own who you are. Put your blinders on and stay in your own lane. Today is your day. Cancer, how are you showing up? Or how can you show up and own your day today? Are you focused on others, or are you focused on yourself? So earlier I mentioned control. I mentioned maybe gone cold. Maybe the gone cold is you nurturing everybody else, but not giving enough back to you. And I feel like that's what this judgment call is all about. Like, how can you give to you? How can you tend to your own inner garden? What weeds need to be pulled in order for the new growth to fully bring in the abundance that it deserves? And that's what you are addressing here. This is your mantra. I stand confidently in my power. My time is now. Yes, it is. Now, what is the outcome? How will this inner work shape the love that flows into your outer world? The 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is about seeing other perspectives. So even if you have dealt with someone who has been very challenging, someone who has been very rigid, very structured here in their own belief system, their own thoughts, I'm getting a selfish energy here. It feels like you're rising above, but you are not going to compromise your own integrity. And that 7 of Wands is also that walking on eggshells that I mentioned. So you are protecting your own peace, defending yourself, living life on your terms. This is about meeting a challenge and giving it a wink. And you're telling yourself, I am not going to be pressured from society, from, parents, or from whomever it may be that is guiding you to move in a direction that it just doesn't align with you. You're holding your ground here. And I feel like you are releasing ego trips, ego battles, or ego stories. The 7 of Wands, it's a highly spiritual number, the 7. It is about inner awareness and insight. And I feel like you have done a lot of reflecting here. Let's get a message from the wisdom of the oracle. I just heard Charlie. Okay, maybe Charlie is your name. It could be someone that you are surrounded with, or maybe Charles is the name of like a father or a grandfather figure who may no longer be here. You have serendipity. Serendipity is about luck. It's about fortune. It's about destiny. It's about being at the right place at the right time. I have a feeling here, Cancer, that your luck is shifting because you are creating your luck. You are someone who is stable. You are someone who is loyal, but you also are craving a bit of adventure, a bit of spontaneity, and you're magnetizing here something that truly does align with what you stand for. And relationships are mirrors. And if there's something being reflected back to you that is causing dissonant notes in your life, it's causing you to feel a bit restless, then I challenge you here with the Seven of Wands, right? I challenge you to see it from all different viewpoints. And I want you to say, okay, what am I learning here? What am I missing? What am I not seeing? And allow yourself to gather the information that you need and then apply it constructively to your outer world. And then stay in your lane here. Try not to get pulled and pushed in all different directions here. Focus on your own healing. Focus on taking care of what you need to take care of. And if other people are showing you who they are by their actions, then trust them at that. Because actions are speaking louder than words here. And you are moving into something that feels more fortunate. And if someone around you is stuck, you don't have to lower your standards to meet them where they're at. I'm going to repeat that. You don't have to lower your standards or become someone that you're not or someone that you've outgrown, Cancer, in order to kind of stick in this mess. You have evolved from it. Remember, that's the King of Pentacles. You've grown. You have learned. Now you have the Judgment saying, how can we release? You've been reborn in a way. Now it's time to protect your peace at all costs. All right, let's take a look here and get a message from the crystal spirits. So if you can safely do so, Cancer, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale through the nose. Hold it for the count of 3, 2, 1, and release through the mouth with a nice big sigh. And with your eyes still closed, I want you to tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first crystal or gemstone that shows up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be a crystal that you are familiar with, maybe even know the name of. Your crystal could show up as a specific shape, size, or color. Your gemstone could be giving off frequencies of unconditional love, healing, support, or guidance. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, where I draw one winner around the first of the month and post right back here on the channel, all you need to do is drop your crystals, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them in the comment section below. I will enter you into the free reading giveaway. All right, Cancer, your crystal for the month is Spessartine Garnet. This is all about charm and charisma, shining and sparkling, being a brilliant beacon of confidence that inspires others. That's that magnetic energy. I told you that you are bright and you are definitely an inspiration to many, whether you know that or not, but now you do. You are a unique being with a light only you can emit. Do you think that you have to work harder to make people like you? What if your soulmate is out there waiting for you to stop trying so hard and just be your glorious, amazing, brilliant self? What if your soulmate is waiting for your beacon to send out the message, I am here and ready for a partner to shine with me? Today is a good day to recognize all that is attractive in you and stop trying to hide it out of some sort of fear that others might not be comfortable seeing you in your full glory. Shine brightly today. And that can be that Five of Swords. That can be the ego telling you that you're not good enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not healthy enough. Whatever stories, whatever lies, right? Fear is a liar. Meditating with this stone can be a bit challenging because the energy feels like a bossy cheerleader. This stone is a must for building and finding your self-confidence, your personal power, and creativity. Spessartine Garnet asks you to stand up straight, hold your head high, and strut your stuff. Yes, strut your stuff, Cancer, and make sure that anything that is showing up that is in alignment with you, that it's a soul yes. You are welcoming it in. And if it is mismatched, if it is not aligned, if it is no longer meant for you to be a part of, then that's a soul no. Because you are magnetic and what you focus on grows. That is what I have for you, Cancer. If you enjoyed the message, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading, you can find that information in the description box below or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.